physician himself. He hates us because he can't discover what it is that kills us.
Do we even know the difference between what is and what isn't? For the last couple years of Man, Months, and Miscreation in this vlog series, I've questioned myself. Is it worth it trying to pull myself out of the sinking bottom of the barrel? And I actually joked. I thought I was kidding. But it turns out that somehow this dream has turned into a fantasy. And I'm trying to take this fantasy and pull it out of the nowhere. Take this fantasy and turn it into a reality, when in this actual reality, I don't think there's going to be a way to pull myself out of that sinking abyss. And somehow, in some way, we're managing to do this on our own. With nobody to save us, nobody to rescue us, no one to give us that boost of attention. It's just me, myself, and the world. And the world is telling me this is what is. This is what is, and this is how it's going to be for the rest of my life. And I'm saying no. No. It's not what is. You see, I'm trying to convince that this is what isn't. Because my dream, my reality, it was almost taken away from me, snap of my fingers. And there was no looking back from whatever I tried to do. I tried to look back from the past with these two ex-relationships, and I tried to make it mine again. And last year, I had to put myself to the test to make sure that I wanted this to just be mine. I don't want it to be about Adam, and I don't want it to be about Brad. I just want it to be about them. Because since the beginning of time, this almost feels like a grudge. This is a pure fucking grudge between me and what Pomeranian has done to me 10 plus years ago. And it didn't seem fair. It didn't seem forgiving. It was just, you are what you are, and that's that. That's the final standard to being yourself. I had to live in a lie. And what hell of a lie this has been for the 10 plus years. Because, let's be honest, this should have been made years ago. This should have been made in 2015 when they were graduating and having the jolliest good old time of their lives. And this would have been the pinnacle. This would have been the mountaintop of what Pomeranian had to look forward to in the future. And let's be honest, I probably would have made it a decade already. I would have been a YouTuber for a decade, and I probably would have looked back and said, hey, let's keep going. Let's do this together. Let's convince them and prove them wrong. Let's prove to them that I am more than just a hybrid werewolf. Let's prove to them that there's more to my life than supposedly causing threats. See, nothing that I have posted was a threat. It may seem like a threat, and it is a threat to some extent, but it didn't have to come down to this. I knew the difference between what is and what isn't, and it's not my fault that they know what isn't. It's not my fault that they had to convince themselves that I was a nobody, an absolute miscreant, an outlaw. And yeah, to this day, I might enjoy being the only outlaw in Palmerton, but the fact of the matter is, there's only so much you can say to them. But you know what? Maybe that there is. Maybe there is a way. Because it's technically still a grudge to this day. And then I could take this so-called fantasy and turn it into an absolute reality. Life may suck. People suck. Palmerton sucks. But it's absolutely so sad that they don't know the difference between what is and what isn't. This will take me to the mountaintop. This will take me to the top of the mountain, to the top of the food chain, and I will enjoy every single moment of it, because this is what is. This is not what isn't. They can tell themselves that I'm just living in one hell of a fantasy and I will never make it in the world, but you see, that's too harsh to understand. You see, that's just unfair to me. And the only reason why it's unfair is because I knew what I was doing from the very beginning, and I knew that I could make a persona that fits me and not annoy me. See, being normal has its risks, but being abnormal makes you more sane than what you once was. See, nobody had to do this. And if this vlog series is gonna feel like a curse at the end of the day, by the day I die, then so be it. Because I'm not going to let them dig their skin, dig their nails into what I love. I'm not gonna let them do what they did to me. I'm not gonna let them dig their soul into my insides and let me feel like an absolute prick. They asked for this. They wanted this. They didn't see this coming, but they wanted this. They asked for this. And since for the very beginning, and since the very first episode, I delivered my promise that one day I was going to show you all exactly who the hell you are, and you can live as fakes for the rest of your life, and I don't have to tell you otherwise. That telling someone no is the wrong thing to do. This is going to make it, and I'm going to prove you wrong. It's the only way. It's the only way to clear my mind. It's the only way to clear all these thoughts inside of me and make it all stop. So forgive me if it sounds like rubbish, but up here, it's no different. Up here, it feels like an absolute nightmare, and it'll never stop. I'm never gonna stop being told no up in here. So I'm gonna tell myself yes. I'm gonna be the one to tell myself that I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make it to the end, and I'm gonna finish with a fucking smile on my face, and I'm gonna tell you all that this was worth it in the long run, and I'm done pretending what is and what isn't. All these arrows that you plucked inside my body, all the mind games that you've played, every bit of it I'm going to use to my advantage this year. And even if nothing works, even if you don't get the picture, don't worry. I'll paint the picture for you. 'Cause I'm more ambitious than you. So you better figure it out. You better figure out what is and what isn't, because I'm not going to be the one to teach you. I'm not going to be the one to sit down and teach you, hold your hand, and expect you to understand what this is all about. You want to understand why I'm doing all of this? You want to understand why this exists? Figure it out. Parmenin, it doesn't matter whose side you take, but I know whose side I'm taking, because at least the friends I have know the difference between being yourself and being a fake, because it's not my fault that you didn't know the difference between being a fake and being yourself. It's not being an adult all the time. It's not about that. It's not about any of that. And you had it all twisted. Since the moment you all got out of high school, you all got it all twisted. You all decided, hey, let me start a family right away, right after high school. Hell, what the hell have you done throughout that whole entire tenure? And instead expect everybody to believe your innocence, to believe your confidence, to believe your motivation. That's not what is. That is what isn't. At least the people I have around me know the difference between being yourself, being an adult, and being a fake. Being what is and what isn't. They know the difference. It's not my fault that you had innocence all wrong. So you can take that pill and I'll shove it down your damn throat. And at this moment forward, I'm going to teach you what is, what isn't. Throughout this whole entire season, I'm going to teach you what is, what isn't, and you're going to enjoy every single piece of it. I'm going to get high on life, while you get high on the bare minimum. So take that for what you will. Now, as far as this channel goes, I believe in us, but I don't give a shit about them. And they know it. And evil, Dysfunct out.